Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Passive Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. For those of you who are new, welcome. I'm Nicole. Guys, this is going to be your daily reading Wednesday. It's Wednesday, January 10th. I'm getting better with the dates and the days of the week. I've always struggled with that. I don't know. We'll call it less stress. I know what's going on, I guess. I don't know. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for tuning in, for all the love and support you show the channel. It is greatly appreciated. I'm hoping here by maybe next week or the following week I'll have readings open and available. I've just got a lot of little things going on. I don't know about you guys, but it's been like, I get one thing done and there's like 10 more. It's like everything's multiplying. It's like the laundry, right? So, you know, you get one load of clothes and there's 3 piles again sitting. So, all right, anyhow, enough of that. But so that's the game plan anyways. All right, guys, let's jump in. Let's see what's going on in your energy today, what the collective needs to know, Spirit. Ask for your divine guidance as always, and thank you. All right, collective, January 10th, efficiency and revolution. You know, that revolution card, moving into this Pluto and Aquarius, it just keeps showing up. It's showing up in you guys' readings. It's showing up in the dailies. Like, it's like, it's funny. It's kind of like it's there. It's like the underlying energy in everything that is happening. And I do feel like, you know, every time I say to you guys, like, you know, I might give you just the brief, like, hey, what's going on? How you been? To, hey, this is what's going on. And I say those things for a reason. There's a reason those things come up. You know, and I do feel like with this revolution and efficiency here, it's like any step you're taking right now, collective, it is working to your better benefit. It's like you may have a checklist of like 1,000 things you need to get accomplished. But I also feel like a lot of this is kind of running around the idea of finances and stability as well. Like what it is that you are setting, Spirit is saying, setting up long-term investment for. And I'm going to say this to you guys, like I do listen to some of the other readers when I have an opportunity for myself, because I'm not great at reading for myself. But it's just the way it's always been. I'm too connected, right? But it's like, you know, they'll say things about maybe people coming back from the past or your money and things like that. And, you know, I think our human mind takes us into the idea of just like what we see right in front of us, right? We don't see the big picture of how, you know, investing is not just like in regards to our pentacles and in regards to our money, but it's like what it is that you are working to secure for yourself or even for your family, your job, whatever, in the long run. And those investments, are little things, the little things that we do. Like if you're starting up your own business, you know, just taking 15 minutes of your day to read and research, you know, something around that. So I feel like there's a lot of energy in regards to those kind of things that we're working out kind of behind the scenes. And, you know, typically I would expect to see, we'll call it that way, I would expect to see, you know, health kind of matters. Spirit just said it does concern them, I guess, that there's like a need a balance right now. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself. You could be putting yourself on the back burner, and I feel like that came out in one of the reads. I forget which one. I think it was a weekly for one of you guys. I'm not remembering who it was for, but make sure you're not putting yourself on the back burner while you're trying to clean up, tidy up, research, read, figure out what it is that you need to do. And I'm going to say something as simple as doing the laundry is the investment to the household to keep it running, right? So I do feel like there's a lot of to-dos right now. And it could be that way, I think, throughout the end of January. Sorry, my lips are a little chapped this morning. It's cold here. So yeah, I feel like that's kind of like the underlying energy of kind of what's going on around you guys right now, you know. So you're going to know what your world is like, but, you know, just working on the self. But it's also about changing the way. So maybe like at the end of the year, you know, the last quarter of the year, you got a little lax and, you know, the holidays were there and everything was happening. that, you know, you had to leave some things go to the wayside, and now it's kind of like playing catch up. Ooh, potential and absence. I'm going to say, how do I want to put this? I feel like for some of you guys, you may, I got this now twice, so I'm going to go with that from Spirit, and thank you, Spirit. You may feel like you're kind of taking the reins and doing everything on your own right now. You could feel like there's a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. Like it feels like when it comes to working with somebody or something, you could feel like there's someone around you that if they would just invest in, you know, talking about that investment again, invest some time into a particular situation with you, that things could be cleaned up more effectively. And this could be in regards to relationships, money, co-workers. Is everybody pulling their weight in the household, right? Like if everybody was working together, how much more efficiently things could possibly move. And there's the potential for that, but you may be feeling like a person is kind of checked out or is not supportive in some way with this absence card here. And that's kind of like, and I do feel like when you look at this potential, it's, you know, I always say it's like the inner child within her, but to me, this is kind of like you're carrying that load with you. And I think that there's a little bit of aggravation around this situation for you guys, regardless of where that situation lies in your world. And then the context is just like, and there's that connection. And I keep seeing these two cards come out this week too, this connection and context. Spirit just said it's also about the contrast. Like everybody, it's going to be like all hands on deck, right? A ship does not sail without deck hands and everybody looking out for one another to make sure that everything is running smoothly. And that's kind of the feel that I'm getting here, is like, to them, they may think they're doing their part. To them, they may think that Spirit just said that you're asking too much of them. And for them, on the other side of this, whomever you're dealing with, Spirit just said they don't want to put in the work. They do not want to put in the work. They would rather check out. And it's like whatever they're dealing with, whomever you're dealing with, you know, call it being overwhelmed, but I just kind of feel like they've shut down. Whatever this is, they've shut down. They're not interested. They're not invested. So I kind of feel like there's that divine energy of like the lighter energy that's just kind of muscling your way through it, doing what you need to do. And somebody else that you're dealing with, you're seeing the complete contrast again in that they're not, they've just shut down. I don't know how else to explain that. They're just not open to working with or working through or working alongside of a situation to make things fair and balanced, right? And I've seen a lot of that Justice card come out as well. My lip is driving me crazy. So it's like there's also some energy around the idea of someone needing to understand and someone needing to voice some concerns around a situation. And I do feel like for some of you, you could feel stifled by the way of like I don't feel like you're being fully affected by this, but it's aggravating. Like beneath the surface, it's one of those things that's kind of brooding. Like, I'm just going to do what I got to do and you're getting it done. But gee, would it be nice if someone else would get on board? And there's a little bit of resentment that builds up as a result of that, right? So it's kind of like, if the situation with whomever you're dealing with doesn't change, or either that or your expectations or the way you're moving doesn't change, eventually there's going to be some kind of eruption to this situation, right? This could be tied to belief systems. Again, seeing that a lot as well. But it's just like you believe that in order for your ship to run accordingly, that everybody's got to be all hands on deck. This person may, and I do feel like there may be something going on with them internally by the way of the mind. The heart feels small, the mind feels like it's kind of taking over. So they, you know, that's where their head is, and it's not really vibing with where you are and what actually needs to be accomplished. So some of you also, Spirit is saying, could be looking for some support, not just in like the tangible world of getting things accomplished or done, but even on the emotional plane, because this person's heart space is small, and yet within you, you're dealing with responsibility. I'm seeing that child inside as a responsibility. Whether this is emotional, whether this is with children and family, but oh my God, my lip is making me nuts. But either way, it's like they're not with it. They're not with you. They're not within a deeper understanding of what it is that needs to be accomplished. It's just like, I've got this going on, and I don't even feel like they're focused on that. That's the thing too, is like, I would feel better if they were off on their own, focused on what it is within them that they're struggling with at this time, and actually working through it. But I don't see them really doing anything. You know, they could just, it's kind of like lights are on, no one's home, they're there, but they're not there. So, you know, that's kind of like the feel that I'm getting with just with those two cards. There's a lot of information coming through with that. So I wouldn't expect a whole lot from this person as of right now, because I don't see how they're not engaging. They're not engaging with whatever it is that you've got going on. So let's see here. Let's see, what else does the collective need to know today? Unity. You are like you can't make it up. You are, it's like you're trying to take on the world here. I mean, look at that. She's got her arms, so she's got all this responsibility. The weight of the world is like on her shoulders. She's hanging on for dear life. She's trying to make things happen. She's trying to keep things in balance. You know, and I say she because that's what's on the card. Gender does not matter. But it's like really taking on that responsibility and that role, and trying to highlight certain things. It's, again, getting things done and feeling like you're the only one in your situation that is really taking a look at the big picture, and someone else is just in their own little world, you know? So just, it's reiterating everything that I just said to you guys. I love when the cards do that. They're like, yep, say it. Spirit's like, say it. And then okay. I hate to go into the person you're dealing with, right? Like I like to see what comes up for you, but I feel like very simply for you, again, you're doing what needs to be done today. You could be doing this for the next couple of weeks. You're learning what it means to have a partner. And, you know, we're going to see a lot of this in 2024. Again, I've said before, I'm going to say it again. Last year was self-care. This year is, how do we unite in our partnerships? How do we work together? How do we make great things happen? And understanding those things from before. The Revolution card, by the way, came back out again. How do we change the way that we have worked that did not work, right? So for you, in your focus of what is happening as of, you know, potentially this moment, yesterday, moving forward, you're understanding, you know, it's being tried and tested. You're testing out these new ways, and you're learning with this Brilliance card and motion. Yeah, like you're moving forward. Specialization. You are moving forward, and I think for a while you may have sat back and kind of taken a moment and collected your thoughts on how you were going to move forward, and now you're making these moves, you're taking care of things, you're trying to, you know, keep your head above water sometimes with this energy, but you're learning about, Spirit is saying, what is going to bring you into decisive action. So you could be letting this person or this situation kind of play out good, right? Like let them do what they're gonna do, right? Like people, it's that adage of, a verbiage of, if they wanted to, they would. And I kind of feel like with this, you're giving them the opportunity. If they wanted to, they would. And that's going to show something to you later on down the line about how your partnerships either work or they don't, or why they're not working, and what it is that you're going to need from a partner, whether it's a colleague at work, relationships, family dynamics. It doesn't matter, across the board, friendships, family, how that dynamic is going to play out. I do think that this person is sleeping on the idea that things are changing whether they like it or not. And that could be a very large part of why they are shutting down at this time, because they don't want to see that I do feel like underneath the surface they're aware. Something is changing. Something has to change. Something is giving, you know, you may have brought something to their attention in some capacity that you've created an awareness. They just don't want to see it, right? In the absence with the revolution is like, I don't want to know. I'm aware, but I'm going to pretend it doesn't exist. I'm going to pretend this didn't happen. I'm going to pretend that everything is fine. But what they don't realize, and I think this came out again in another reading, I kind of feel like I'm repeating myself in a way, that it's like they got triggered, right? We use that word all the time. They got triggered by something that is forcing them to either get with the program or get gone. And I think part of that decisive action that Spirit was talking about is you're going to know after a given point, Spirit is saying 3 weeks, that either you're going to allow this to continue or you're going to start to move in a completely different direction. Okay? So I hope that's, as always, I hope that's jiving or making sense for you guys. I am going to throw 16 minutes into this. Throw a card down here for each of these. Potential, the Emperor, right? Taking control. I mean, he is ruling everything that needs to be done. He's geared up. He's ready to go. He's making decisions. He's taking action as need be, even if he doesn't really know where he's going. I will say this may come after a period of self-sabotage. I will say this also may come after a period of some regrets, defeat, remorse, feeling sad, feeling down, feeling out. But you also know that for those of you who are, I'm going to say, more spiritually in tune, for those of you who are much more aware of how this works, right? We'll call it that. You recognize, like, yeah, I needed to take some time to either hermit or decompress from the holidays or whatever it was for you. But now it's like, it's time to get moving again. It's time to start to really look at the big picture. It's time to start making judgment calls and take control of where my life is heading. And I've seen that come out this week. So this could be a big emphasis for most of you. So with this absence, and I feel like too with this Emperor, like, you know, he's sitting on his throne. He doesn't have to make any moves necessarily. He can rule from the seat and the position that he's in because he's been doing it for so long. The Knight of Wands come out, and as soon as it did, I heard runner. Yeah, they're running. They're flying off. Spirits at the handle. Maybe some of them are. Maybe they're completely acting out of character. But look at this. I say about the absence, right? 6 of Swords, moving into the 4 of Cups, the Hermit. They're avoiding something. They're running from that knowledge, right? That Hermit is that knowledge, that knowing to what has got him to where he is. He could trust this lantern to light the way. That's the gift here. It's being gifted by Spirit, is the wisdom. And they're avoiding the knowing of something in their world, which is leaving you to feel like, again, the Emperor takes the full responsibility of his entire kingdom. And, you know, that's what you're doing while they're sitting under their tree, ignoring what it is that's requiring them to see. They're running from the awareness that they know. They damn well know. And it's like they've worked up to a certain point with you or on something that's affecting you directly one way or another, but they're running from it. And they're coming in as a knight. You're standing there as the Emperor, and they're standing there as the knight, like night and day. Haha, right? Like, pun intended there. They don't want to climb the mountains. They don't want to climb the hills. They don't want to put in the work. Because it's like they're going to have to be responsible for somebody else other than themselves. And that seems overwhelming to them. So it's just, let's run and ignore what's transpiring here at this time. What is this unity about? The Devil. I said, the weight of the world on your shoulders. You could feel trapped. You could feel like you're stuck in certain situations where you're going to have to make a decision. There's that 2 of Swords. But I also feel like with this Devil, I'm not really seeing it as a negative. There's negative and positive aspects to all the tarot cards, right? I'm seeing this as for some of you, you could be hanging on. And like I said, you could be in this space for a little bit of waiting to see if someone is going to step up to the plate, right? And I think that's kind of where you are, maybe this little bit of limbo, just going, I'm going to keep doing what I need to do and let this situation kind of figure itself out. Forced change is coming regardless, one way or another. So with the Devil card, I don't feel too overwhelmed by this, because it's, you know, there's the unity of bringing things together for the right reasons, and there's the Devil that, you know, traps us into a certain way of thinking or being. And again, the contrast of the two of those situations, I feel like is kind of what's being brought into it. For some of you, you got the Devil with the Magician. That's crazy ass manipulation. Somebody here too, this could be separate, or you could be dealing with multiple situations. The Three of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, Four of Swords. Somebody, you know, I hate to go into this, but I will. Somebody around you could be kind of laying in wait, is what I'm going to call it. They're trying to keep you stuck to a situation. Somebody could have used or is using or trying to use third parties to manipulate a situation, or hang on to, you know, just about anything, or that other, you know, whoever this is too, and this could be you, could be using other things to cope with trying to force change or force certain things as well. Not the healthiest of energies to be in. So it's like, you know, if somebody's running, maybe, you know, maybe they're isolating and drinking. I mean, who knows, right? I've seen the Three of Cups showing itself, but it's a complete avoidance of the reality of the situation. This Devil is a lot of disillusionment to me. It's a falsified sense of security. It's a falsified sense of a lot of things. And you've got that Magician who, with the Devil, I'm seeing this in a negative connotation, that hanging on to things for all of the wrong reasons. And this could be that person. This could be you. You know, that period I talked about of like, what, 3 weeks? You know, you could be seeing or waiting to see if they're going to change their ways, is kind of what I'm getting with this. Like, I'm willing to work with you, but are you going to continue to work with me? But it's causing a lot of confusion for you. Like, how could this potentially work out in the long run whenever you're sleeping on the job? Here, I got the Four of Swords. So, somebody could also feel like they need attention. Somebody could be like, that Six of Wands behind all of that, like seeking attention, seeking validation, seeking to be felt and seen, but for the wrong reasons, right? Like they're using manipulation as a form to make things happen. And what they need to remember, though, with that 8 or that infinity symbol above the Magician, what you put out comes back. So if they've kind of shut you off, you know, you may get into this dynamic, not so much of the runner chaser, but if that's all you're going to give me, this is all you're going to get back from me. Okay, so let's see about this revolution. We're going to wrap this up. We're 23 minutes into a daily. Oh my goodness. Revolution, sideways, the Hierophant and the Sun. Again, this is like I said, for those of you who are spiritually inclined, right? 9 of Pentacles, Judgment, 2 of Cups. You're going from that 2 of Cups to the 9 of Pentacles. I will do it on my own. That 9 is a very independent energy, and that's making that judgment call to go, okay, we could have this 2 of Cups, right? We could have this unity with that unity card that's come out. But if I have to do it on my own, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it well, and I'm going to be fine doing it on my own. So it's like, you know, there's some karma, and it's crazy how that's coming out this year already. There's some karma kind of playing out. This revolution, the Sun and the Hierophant coming out sideways. You may have been something you've said or done in regards to this person or this situation is highlighting maybe how, I'm going to say, unevolved the other side of this is, how unaware they are. But that Sun is, you know, sideways position tells me that it's working its way through, and it fell. I also look at how they fall, like what direction they fall out sideways. I always look at it as like a clock. Okay, so if where the 3 would be at the top of the card, is that's where it is. It's a quarter of the way through that circle, right? These both fell out in like the 3/4 position is what I'm going to call it. it's like they've had an experience. They know. You're sitting back seeing the big picture again. There's that last quarter from that 9 to that 12 that says, here's the final part of this. You need to get this. This is the final piece of the pie, right? If you're breaking it up in quarters. They know they're going to have to walk through whatever this is. They're not willing to do that at this time, whatever this is. So it's like, that's where those tower moments come in, right? We talk about this all the time. Spirit is, spirit, God, all, whatever you believe in, right? Whatever works for you, whatever is your higher power. They're going to give you so many opportunities to address what needs to be addressed. And when you don't, hello, tower moment. Because whether it's a belief system, and with that Hierophant, that's traditions, it's legal, it's beliefs. Like I'm going to say the time is almost up to for them to make a change on their own, to stop doing whatever this is that they're doing, ignoring the problem or not wanting to see that shit is out of whack. Because it's for some of them, I'm going to say there's a little bit of a dark energy to this, that they could have, again, manipulated things, held on to things out of codependency or toxicity or seeking revenge, or it's a very angry energy that this situation is carrying with it. Resentment that I talked about earlier. I think that for you, you're not angry. There's just frustration. And through that frustration is going to be where the required action is going to be needed from you to either break free of this altogether, or this person gets their head out of their ass, which I'm going to be honest with you. Coming out with the 9 of Pentacles and the Judgment card, I don't think that's going to happen. You're probably going to fly solo. And even if it's a work situation, if you're working and partnering together, you're like, you know what, just take the damn day off and let me get done what needs to be done. Just go off and do whatever project or thing you're doing. Just let me get my shit done, so this way we know that this is not going to continue on, like this is taking too long. There's also, even though I don't have any cards of delay here, it does feel like whatever this energy is causing some delays in certain things. So whether this is your prosperity, your happiness, your peace of mind, right? It could be anything, but it's causing some delays in the way you're moving forward. But the moral of the story to this, and I'm going to get one other card and we're going to be done. The time frame for this nonsense, or this refusal to see what's happening, the time is almost up. It's just about done. At that point, you're likely to make a very strong decision with that Emperor energy of taking control of your own life to the fullest. Where this person or this situation goes, they're going to have to make that call. That's free will, right? So, all right, let's see. Advice for the collective spirit. Shock, sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphanies, transformations of the Phoenix. Be aware. This is interesting, and I've seen this shock card come out, which I've never, I haven't had this deck for a real long period of time. I was going to say a message coming in, talking. I'm going to tell you, this is, I can't believe I'm letting this reading go this long, but it's necessary. New phase, rekindled, renew, growth, change mind, rise from the ashes. Jeez Louise. I was going to say communication. I flipped the deck over. There's that talking card. There may come a point where someone is going to acquiesce to doing something. Like, I feel like there's this level of defeat coming in from the other side that they just give up. They just kind of throw in the towel. They're over it. They're tired. They're ready to move on. And I don't even think they know where the hell they're going, because they haven't been able to figure this out. So it's like, how do you not clean up loose ends so that you know where you're moving to next, or where you're going, what you're going into? Expect. It's kind of like tower energy. Either you're going to make a decision that says, I need something more than this. I need something that is going to ignite me, that's going to fire me up, that's going to allow me to rebuild myself, to step into a space. And I said about peace, and you look at her, she's like on the yoga mat, right? She's seeking her peace. The sun is shining behind her, where it's kind of like, light a match to that bitch, I'm done. That message, that communication could be coming in from you saying, I'm not doing this anymore. For them, I feel like there's the potential for them to just kind of throw in the towel. You may find out different information. They may communicate some kind of feelings to you, which is going to send you into a new phase of life and the way of doing things. I'm going to say for maybe 25% of you, their Spirit said a 1 in 4 chance, which is 25%. I talked about that clock being that last quarter, right? That this person might straighten their ass up. But in the overall scheme of things, for the rest of you, you're very likely to go your own way. Fleetwood Mac there, go your own way, right? They're either going to do something that repulses you and you're just like, fuck this. Or you're just going to get fed up with that frustration and say, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not playing these games. I'm not going to continue to put in effort where someone else is not willing to put in their part. And for some of those people, that may be like their tower moment. The fact that you're just not giving any, it's like that is their karma. You're not giving to this, where maybe they thought they had you. They thought they could just run you amok and you would just continue to take care of everything. You're just not doing it anymore. And that in itself is like their karmic lesson, their karma saying like, you don't get to take up this energy and this space from another person and expect them to be by your side. So it's like, you're talking about being codependent. If they're relying on you for your energy, your efforts, just to run you in the muck because they don't want to do what they should be doing to begin with, you stepping back and saying, no. I'm seeing the hand of the alchemy card up. No, I'm not doing this with you. That in itself is going to send them like, oh shit, here comes my moment that I've been dreading, that I've known that is coming. And they're going to have to deal with those changes. That could really ignite, Spirit is saying, a long series of events that are going to change their way of living. So that's the message. Big message today. So guys, just be aware. Again, we're moving it. We get the full moon at the end of the month. I don't even know when the new moon is. I don't even know. I'm all mixed up on my dates as far as all that goes. I'm usually right on top of that, but I haven't been. But the full moon falls right around the Pluto Aquarius thing. I'm not sure what all's going on planetarily wise. But and I will say, some of these people, after they realize that you're done playing games, all of a sudden they want to talk. They want to act. What can I do? What do we need to do here? Be very mindful of, I always say the motives. Everybody's got a motive in what they do. My motive is to come here and give you guys the best possible spiritual guidance that I can to hopefully help you and even help myself. That's my motive here. It's why I'm here. It's why I do what I do. Why other people do what they do, it can be for we know it can be for selfish reasons, and that's kind of how this feels to me. So be aware of the why they're coming back around to try to smooth things over or clear up a few things. It's like they've stepped in a few too many mud puddles and now they need someone to give them a hand. Do you deserve it? Should I give my energy to this? Because when I was in the mud puddles back here with responsibility, you were nowhere to be found. What you get is what you get, or what you give is what you get, right? So, all right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Have a fantastic day. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon. Bye.